Do you agree with some security experts who believe the government is politicizing the security situation of the country rather than attending to it as and when due?
I don't think that government is politicizing security situation. I think to an extent there is a lack of capacity, and I give credit where I need to give credit. Look at in the northeast. I traveled to the northeast twice in the last 1 year. I was there. I celebrated Christmas there last December. You know, I was at work, so I won't even say I celebrated Christmas. I was at work even on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. That was the time when I did those stories about the Tucano, and I went also to some dangerous places like Koshebe, and I did where Boko Haram slaughtered more than 60 farmers in one day, cutting their throats. I went to the place and did a documentary. Now, that area is much safer than it used to be. But attacks still happen. Attacks still happen. Not that the attacks have been nullified totally. But now, as we are keeping the Northeast safe, the North Central has become such a big concern. The Northwest remains such a big concern, especially states like Katsina, Zamfara, and even Sokoto, and occasionally Kebbi, especially the southern Kebbi south. Places like the Zuru Emirate, where they killed about 80 farmers and vigilantes in one day. So I am saying that, look, we have not been able to protect our people sufficiently. Where we are making progress, yes, we have to admit it. But across the country, we have not been able to defeat banditry. We have not been able to defeat terrorism. Our people still get picked. If bandits can storm a train and took people away and cause some of them to be in detention, I mean, in their custody for up to 6 months, then we should be worried. So I don't think they are playing politics with security. They are they lack the capacity for now to deal decisively with all the threats coming our way by way of insecurity. So that is the problem. They couldn't have allowed or permitted the attack on that train to happen because it's a disgrace to the country. But it happened. Everyone is embarrassed by it, and we just hope that such nonsense will not happen again. So I don't agree that they are politicizing it. There is a lack of capacity to deal with insecurity in a very wholesome manner. And some of the reasons for this have to do with even insufficient troops and equipment. We don't have enough soldiers in our country. We don't have enough policemen. You know, the civilian to police ratio, as it concerns Nigeria, is the worst in the world.
Yeah.
So we need to recruit policemen on an incremental basis for the next 10 years before we
Yeah.
can have um, uh, enough policemen to man our communities.
All right, BKO, let me quickly chip in this one or two comments here and the question here as well. Fabian, no, taking Fabian before. Marco Yaidi says, BKO, what do you think about the statement of the naval officer, Kunon Laumi, about our government being complicit in these attacks? Deyinka Adegoke says, I live here in Chicago. The killings and crimes that happen on a daily basis is frightening. So there is another question. Let me quickly cram that into it before you. Uh, I think there was one. Okay, yeah. Fabian Akais is saying, can any African consulate in the U.S. release this kind of circular for her citizens without facing severe sanctions? This is nothing more than diplomatic bullying and oppression. Enough.
So um, if tell your people that they should be careful about their movement in a part of America, maybe where they are killing people, if that's really happening. How is that a crime? They didn't even go into specifics. They just said, look, terrorist activities are likely to happen. Stay away from crowded places, this and that. I think we are just making a mountain out of a molehill. That is, Abuja is a place where we've seen terrorist attacks in the past. So if they are warning their people, I don't think there's anything wrong about that. I don't think there's anything wrong about that. We are just being emotional about these matters. If I were in their shoes, I would warn our people to be wary of the places that they go to. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to lose our people. You know, for me, yes, they are killing people in the US, but there's nowhere for the man who says he lives in Chicago. There is nowhere in the world where people get killed every day the way they get killed in Nigeria. And I've challenged people to tell me any part of the world where on a daily basis people get killed the way people get killed in Nigeria. The figures are there and they are really startling. So for those who want to compare themselves to America, let us look at the figures. Bandits will attack a community, unprovoked attack, they will kill people. 81 people killed in one day. There was a day that they killed 120 persons in Katsina on a market day. Is that the way they kill people in America?
BKO, some people
Do
might
they
want to
kill
argue.
Americans? Do they kill up to 120 Americans in one day? Do they?
BKO, if you
this
can
is
allow
what
me
is
to chip
happening.
this in. Some people might want to
Large
argue.
scale killing of people in America that I can recall, large scale in terms of the number of people killed was 9/11. And that's a much bigger country than Nigeria. Yet they're able to limit the number. Even in Syria, people are not being killed the way they are being killed in Nigeria. Even in Syria, you see in Kaduna, people, they can even attack a church, take the pastor away, kill people. That is so cheap in our country. That
BKO,
is so
some people might
cheap
want
in
to
our country.
argue.
This is
Some
a
people might want to
fact.
argue with you that
Let's tell ourselves the truth and challenge our security operatives to do the needful. Yes, this warning has come. What do we do? Are we going to fold our arms and allow another Kuje attack to happen? Is that what we want to see? Do we know how many prisons have been broken in Nigeria in the last 1 year? In nearly all parts of the country, prisons have been broken. Plateau State, Oyo State, in the southeast. And there's no time they do it that they don't kill people. Why are we being emotional about this thing? Yes, it terrifies to hear that this is going to happen, but let's deal with what needs to be done. Set machinery in motion, protect our people. And I'm happy that we are beginning to do that because arrests now are being made. The authorities are announcing to us that ISWAP men have been arrested in Abuja, which means they had been there all along. What were they there for? They were planning to attack our people. So we've come out to say we have made arrests. 35. That's a huge number. 35 terrorists can cause so much havoc if permitted. So let's deal with the truth. Let's don't get emotional about these things. Challenge our people in a country where we saw bandits attack a prison, set free their people, and they walk their way unchallenged. We don't want to see that again. That's the thing. We don't want to see that again. America came to this country to free one of their men who was kidnapped in Nigeria Republic and taken into Nigerian territory. They came here, launched an operation, killed the terrorists, and took their citizen away. That's what we want to see. That's the extent to which they can go to protect one life, the life of their citizen. So why are we abusing them? Why are we even funnily trying to compare ourselves to them? Have we ever gone to that extent to go to a country to go and rescue a Nigerian from bandits the way the Americans did here in Ilela? Have we? Have we ever done that? I do not recall that we ever did that. But we must begin to do that. We must begin to show that one life of the Nigerian is precious. That we will give whatever it takes to ensure that a Nigerian does not die a needless death. That is the thing. That is my own. That, in my view, that is what we should take out of this whole controversy over what's likely to happen in Abuja.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, let us make sure that it doesn't happen. That is the challenge that we have. If, in spite of this, if we get our hands dirty, arguing, and this thing happens, the Americans will feel justified. So, in order to ensure and prove to the Americans that we can indeed protect our people, we must go to ensure that those attacks do not happen. That's what we should do. And I'm happy that we are beginning to do that.